Hello there again, sweet darlings. I've already shared a few videos here on this channel about the ways that women can improve their marriages. Largely, this centers on becoming more considerate wives, becoming softer and less combative, and ultimately letting our husbands lead us. This idea that the man is the head of the household seems to trigger something in so many women out there who confuse submissive with slave, or assume that women who are pursuing God's design for marriage must be oppressed or abused. As a woman who has experienced the early years of marriage without faith and without traditional gender roles, I can tell you that from my experience, deciding to follow these and enter the church were the best things that we ever did for our marriage. Being a submissive wife means that I focus on serving my husband and my family. Sometimes this means that I eat dinner last, and sometimes I don't get a quiet moment to myself until I go to bed. But that's not to say that the service in our household is one-sided. My husband has also been learning to embrace his role, which requires a type of service too, which is quite different from my own. He does so many things so that I am more comfortable and secure, things which I would never be able to do, or that I wouldn't want to. Some of these things we discussed ahead of time and agreed that he'll take on, and others he simply took charge of. But I want to share some of these ways with you that he serves me as a submissive wife, not only to show my appreciation for what a good man he is, but to hopefully also give you some context on what a biblical, honourable husband and patriarch might look like in today's world. The first thing that my husband does to serve me is that he fixes and maintains our cars. This isn't just the basics. He keeps them safe, but he also changes the brakes, deep cleans the inside once in a while, organizes the insurance, road tax, etc., and he even fills up the car for me, so whenever I do need to use it, I pretty much just sit in it and go. This is a weight off my mind because I now drive with 2 children when I go out, and it also saves us a lot of money and hassle compared to taking a car to a garage to be fixed. The second way that my husband serves me is that he collects and chops our firewood. Every year since we've had a wood-burning stove, he's managed to source us wood for free, as well as building a woodshed in his spare time and taking charge of bringing wood inside slowly to dry. This is a great help, and I appreciate that he keeps us cozy this way. Also, I'm no good with an axe, and would likely take my leg off if I was in charge of this job. The third way that my husband serves me is that he does all the dirty jobs. From the bins to cleaning the chicken coop or the boiler, he largely tries to keep me away from any kind of dusty, dirty, or dangerous substance. Now, sometimes he needs a hand for a moment, but mostly he doesn't let me do these things, even if I offer. The fourth way that my husband serves me as his wife is that he corrects me. As my leader, he points out when I've made a mistake or if I could have been kinder, more patient, etc., and this is helpful because I know that I can turn to him when I'm trying to handle a toddler tantrum, for example, and he'll tell me if I'm going wrong or if I've done it all okay, but she's just overtired or cranky. I don't always like to hear constructive feedback, but knowing that I can grow and become a better person helps me to accept it with a smile and be grateful that my husband does it, especially when I've hurt his feelings or behaved badly. Taking the time to give me feedback is a way that he shows he cares, and I'm glad he doesn't just bury his feelings or moan about me to other people. The fifth way that my husband serves me is that he gives me thoughtful compliments. As I grew up being praised often, I came into our relationship expecting a lot more praise from my husband. I was arrogant and I felt I deserved a lot more credit. Realizing that I still had a lot to learn and that I needed to improve in many areas helped humble me, and it also made me very appreciative of the compliments I do get. I now know that when my husband says he likes a dress or a dessert, it's a big deal, because he doesn't say that about all of them. The sixth way that my husband serves me is by coming up with new projects and ventures to improve our family situation. I greatly admire his drive and his ability to stay up all night working on something new, or be outside in the freezing cold to finish a new door frame, for example. He doesn't do projects just for fun, because all of his projects are geared towards improving our life as a family. This drive takes a weight off my mind. Sometimes we brainstorm together and I offer some ideas or alternatives. I also sometimes have to encourage him when a project gets tough. I have complete faith in him though, and remind him of that, because miraculously there hasn't been a project yet that he hasn't pulled off, even if it took a bit longer or was much harder work than he expected. These are just a few of the ways that my husband serves me as his wife. We've been on quite a journey together, as I learn to follow him and he learns to lead. We're both discovering that building a family and a legacy is about so much more than how your home looks, what car you drive, or how healthy your bank balance is. We often get into bed at the end of the day and just grin at each other as we listen to our kids snoring, knowing that there's no better feeling in the whole world than being surrounded by the people you love. I'll be sharing some of the ways that I serve my husband and my family in a video soon, but I'd love to hear from you in the comments how your husband serves you and why you're so grateful for him. From small to big things, men out there are working hard to show that they care and be a good leader, so I think it's important to appreciate them and encourage them as well. I hope to see you all here again soon for the next one, but in the meantime, take good care everyone, and God bless.